You can support In the Past Lane with a donation via Patreon or PayPal. Just go to inthepastlane.com and click on support. Thanks.
Whoa, hit the brakes. You've arrived at the #1 drive-by for American history. Welcome to The Pit Stop. Brought to you by In the Past Lane, the podcast about history and why it matters. Here's Edward T. O'Donnell, your host and historian at large.
Hi everyone, welcome to The Pit Stop, your Monday source for history on the go in just about 5 minutes. If you're new to the podcast, we offer this feature every Monday, in addition to our full feature episodes, featuring interviews with historians talking about their latest work. Here's what happened in American history the week of July 22nd, 2019. Let's start with birthdays. July 22nd, 1882, that's the birthday of artist Edward Hopper, who was born in Upper Nyack, New York. Hopper was a leading painter in the Realist school of painting, and some of his notable works include Automat, Chop Suey, and Nighthawks. Edward Hopper once said, "My aim in painting has always been the most exact transcription possible of my most intimate impressions of nature." July 24th, 1897 is the birthday of Amelia Earhart, who was born in Atchison, Kansas. In the course of her storied aviation career, Amelia Earhart set many records, including becoming the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. She once said, "Women, like men, should try to do the impossible, and when they fail, their failure should be a challenge to others." July 25th, 1941 is the birthday of Emmett Till, who was born in Chicago, Illinois. Emmett Till was a 15-year-old African-American boy in 1954 when his mother sent him from Chicago to spend time with relatives in Mississippi. He was brutally murdered for allegedly saying something cheeky to a white woman. The murder drew national attention and helped energize the civil rights movement. July 26, 1903 is the birthday of Estes Kefauver, who was born in Madisonville, Tennessee. Kefauver was a career politician who represented Tennessee in the House and Senate from 1939 to 1963. He's best known for leading a commission in the 1950s that investigated organized crime. Estes Kefauver once famously said, "Presidential ambition is a disease which can only be cured by embalming fluid." July 26, 1928, that's the birthday of director Stanley Kubrick, who was born in New York City. Some of his best-known films include Spartacus, Dr. Strangelove, 2001: A Space Odyssey, and The Shining. Stanley Kubrick once said, "The very meaninglessness of life forces man to create his own meaning. If it can be written or thought, it can be filmed." Okay, what about events? July 22nd, 1934, gangster John Dillinger was gunned down by the FBI outside the Biograph Theater in Chicago. Dillinger and his gang had robbed a string of banks and killed several policemen, leading the FBI to declare him public enemy number 1. July 23rd, 1885, former President Ulysses S. Grant died. Behind his death was an incredible story. Recently bankrupted and diagnosed with terminal cancer, Grant was determined to leave his wife with a source of financial support. So, in collaboration with his friend Mark Twain, he wrote his memoirs and finished the manuscript just days before his death. The memoirs became a bestseller, earning Julia Grant a comfortable income for the rest of her life. And as a military memoir, Grant's is considered one of the greatest ever written. July 26, 1775, the United States Postal Service was established by the Second Continental Congress. The first Postmaster General was Benjamin Franklin. By 1829, the United States Postal Service had grown to 7,600 offices and employed more people than any other branch of government. July 26, 1948, President Harry Truman issued Executive Order 9981, which called for the desegregation of the nation's armed forces. And on July 27, 1974, the Judiciary Committee of the United States House of Representatives recommended that President Richard Nixon be impeached and removed from office. Nixon, of course, would resign 2 weeks later. Okay, time for the last word. Let's give it to President Harry Truman, who, 71 years ago this week, issued Executive Order 9981 that began the process of desegregating the United States military. Here's a portion of that order. Whereas it is essential that there be maintained in the armed forces of the United States the highest standards of democracy, with equality of treatment and opportunity for all those who serve in our country's defense, it is hereby declared that there shall be equality of treatment and opportunity for all persons in the armed forces, without regard to race, color, religion, or national origin. Okay, people, that's your history fix for the week. Now put it in drive and go make your own history.